Good morning, listeners. This is Maggie Blaine from Main Street Athens, and you've tuned in to Main Street Moments, where every Tuesday I'll be interviewing somebody within the Athens community. And on this segment, we'll bring you different updates that are going around downtown Athens, and we're going to highlight the people who make this town such a special place. We'll cover different events, people, and places that shape our community. This morning, we're sitting down with Frank Clark, the founder and original manager of everyone's favorite coffee shop here in Athens, Blue Front Coffee Shop. They are located in downtown Athens on College Street. Blue Front's been in business for the past 4 years and has been a staple for students and locals alike. It's the perfect place to come and study, catch up with friends, or have even a business meeting. Now, I know you guys are all itching to hear from the man himself, so thank you, Frank, for coming on the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to get to sit down and chat with you.
Yeah, and we're actually in Blue Front today, so it's a very special episode. And you can actually watch this on YouTube as well, so if you want to see Blue Front for yourself, make sure you tune in there too. But anyways, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I'm originally from Chattanooga. I am a transplant to here. I do love it here. It's been awesome to be here. I've been here for about 10 years. So moved here, took a job, and then, came here, bought a house with fam, and then made it home. Loved Chattanooga and love everything about living in the city, but then coming here and the pace of life slowing down was really, really great. So moved here with a government job and worked that for a while, and then went to work for a local church, Hillcrest. It's over in Etowah, and the church itself had a really, really, really big heart, still does, for college students, but we always were attempting to figure out how do we bridge a gap in serving the community when we're in Etowah and we have a university that is in Athens. And even though you can get there in 8 to 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes is a long distance for college students that are pretty much walking everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's not 8 to 10 minutes for them. So we decided that we wanted to do something, but we didn't know what we were going to do. Through some different things that happened, this building was acquired in 2019, and then, like most of the world experienced, 2020 rolled around and everything came to a screeching halt. And so because it did, we decided, we didn't want to sit around on our hands and just not do anything until we knew, what would happen with COVID. And so we decided, hey, let's go ahead and start renovating that building. And so we spent 9 months starting in 2020 renovating this space. It was a dry cleaners. It was full of dry cleaning machinery, and it was pretty historic dry cleaner in the community, but it had been closed for about 5 years. And so we started gutting it. It was mint green. If anybody ever comes in here can imagine it, it was like, I'm talking toothpaste mint green, and had some blue tile and all kinds of stuff. And so we got here and just started scrapping and really working hard to get it cleaned up and create a vision for what this could be as a coffee shop that would serve the community. Because we wanted not just a coffee shop, because anybody can open a coffee shop. Starbucks pops up all over the place. You've got drive-through coffee shops that pop up everywhere. Anybody can create a coffee shop, but not everybody can open a shop that's a safe place for students to just come and hang out, or a place for people to come, like you mentioned, have a business meeting, or if somebody just wants a place where they can come relax that afternoon, sit in the corner with their headphones on, and just kind of escape the world. We knew that we had to somehow create this atmosphere that when people walk through the door, they found a place that felt a little bit like home, so that they could just settle in and felt at ease. And so that's what we wanted to do. And it was really, really great. We got to do it. We opened in February of 21, which I think was so appropriate. Everybody was kind of starting to COVID was still around, but people were coming out of that, and people wanted to get out of the house. And so, we were excited to open. It was super awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And that is exactly 1 month after I moved here as well. And so I remember the first few times I came into Blue Front, and ever since then I've always loved it. I've always come here to just hang out, be on my computer. And even recently, I just come in here, I use the free Wi-Fi and do my work.
Absolutely.
And so, it's a really cool place. And you definitely did create that atmosphere here, I would say. And What would you say it's like to run a business in Athens? What makes it special?
You know, I think that Athens really is a special place for business. You know, anytime anybody starts a business or has to run a business of any type, no matter what the scale of it is, large or small, it seems very daunting and like it can be hard, but really Athens is a very business-friendly, business-forward place. It takes a lot of effort. You really have to scrap. You have to have a good game plan going in and know what you want to accomplish, which can seem very, very hard and very black and white when you do then come into a place like a Bluefront that's all about atmosphere and all about the feeling and what you get. But I think if you go into it with a good game plan, Athens is a place to be really successful. Our location's great, halfway between Chattanooga and Knoxville. We're right here with a great university, good population. We're at the heart of the county, so I think it's a great place for a business to start and to thrive.
Yeah, for sure. And then you touched on it a little bit, but what would you say like the overall vision of Bluefront is? Like, what do you want Bluefront to be in the future?
So we have a great manager who runs the shop now. His name's Bo, and first of all, he is silly and fun and has a ton of energy, and he is the perfect person to manage the shop because his vibe matches the atmosphere of the shop so well. But really, the vision is for anybody to come in and feel at home and feel comfortable, get really good actual quality coffee that is sourced regionally, that it's not some coffee that's been sitting on a shelf somewhere, but it's actually really good quality coffee from really good local farms and organic ingredients and things like that. So we want to serve really great product, but also people enjoy the overall experience of being in the room, if you will.
Yeah.
And that, you know, it doesn't matter the background that people come from. When they come in, this is a place they feel comfortable, they feel loved, and that they just feel at ease. And that's what we want the experience to be when they come in here, whether it's a rainy day or if it's a bright sunny day, you know, if it's one of our evenings that we're open late, you got a concert, or if it's an early Monday morning, you're just trying to get on your feet for your week. That's what we want people to enjoy and experience.
Yeah, for sure. And then also just what has Bluefront turned into over the past 4 years? I know you guys have done some events like live music.
Yeah.
Sometimes you guys have thrift shops in here where people can do that. So like, what would you say it's kind of turned into over the past few years?
So I guess what I'll say is Bluefront has a little bit, and this is what's interesting, Bluefront has its history of being named after a five and dime store that was in Etowah, and there's a long story behind that takes much more time than what we have for today on our show, but it is birthed out of this storefront and what was used in the civic space upstairs above it in Etowah, and it's such an important story, and we love to tell that story. But for us, it has become a bit of a mecca for people who are maybe small business owners. We've hosted, like you've mentioned, some thrift stores for pop-up shops in here. We've had pop-up florists in here. We've had, you know, skateboarding clothing companies come in and do things. We're very fortunate that we are actually one of the very few businesses that have a back lawn in the city. Not everybody has that. Most people that have a back lawn are a home, but we're a business that have a back lawn, and so we've got a great stage out there that's lit. So we've been able to have some shows, some worship nights out there for local congregations that have you know, come into the space and had it for the evening. So it's been a community gathering hub and also helped propel a little bit of local business, which is great because we were able to get a really good opportunity to start this, and so it's always a wonderful opportunity to support other local businesses that are getting up and starting and doing their thing.
Yeah. And from a student's perspective, it's been really cool because a lot of the businesses that will come in here, like the pop-up shops and different things like that, I would have never known about, because for students, it's hard to get us off campus, and like Bluefront's sometimes even too far. And so the students that do come in here, it's really cool that they can touch different aspects of the community as well.
And we love to do, you know, study nights, so typically towards the end of the semester and stuff, we'll stay open late. And every once in a while, Bo, the manager, he'll get a special menu or do something for the students. We've done free pancake nights before when students are studying. We stay open late and stuff. So we really do love to serve the campus of Tennessee Wesleyan as well.
Yeah, and the students definitely feel that as well.
Yep.
And speaking of the students, now that summer's coming up, how does the students being gone affect your business?
You know, I would say that it's not so much of how it affects business, it becomes different business.
Okay.
Because students leave, so all, you know, your collegiate students are not on campus, but now all your kids in elementary school to high school are out of school for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so either mom or dad or aunt or uncle are coming in for smoothies or iced coffees or, you know, a late morning cinnamon roll treat. So it's kind of like we replace one customer base with another during the summertime. So it's not that them being gone is necessarily a bad thing. It just, we kind of switch, the party switches a little bit. And so,
for sure.
And that's what's great, because you think, oh, well, coffee business is only good for college students, but it's actually great with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just like most people think that coffee business is only thriving in the fall, which, yes, the infamous pumpkin spice latte will always make you busy when the first leaf drops.
Yeah.
But there are lots of other opportunities for, you know, Bluefront Coffee Co. to be busy throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure. And then, kind of touching on that, what is some of the most unique coffees you guys have served at Bluefront?
Okay, so I would say that our most popular one, that before we opened, I knocked and said, this will never sell, and some of our founding team fought me on it. We're like, no, we have to put it on the menu, and I was floored by, and we have sold the most of it out of any, was the Velvet Elvis, and it's vanilla, coconut, you know, espresso with oat milk and cinnamon. And to me, nothing about the coconut and the oat milk and the cinnamon sounded like anything I would ever drink, but they, you know, everybody was like, no, it's going to taste like horchata, it'll be great, and it took off, and it has sold so much. So that was probably the top, you know, shocking drink that we had, as far as I was shocked by.
Yeah.
We have had a drink that you don't see it necessarily on menu all the time. Every once in a while we'll run it. It's called Herbalicious, rosemary, lavender, just a little bit of mint, and it's a latte as well. That's pretty popular, and it's kind of a shock because most people think it sounds real floral, and that's a strange combination with coffee. But it's really, really nice. Springtime, summertime, iced as an iced latte. That's very popular. I guess two of my favorites, I would say they're on the secret menu, if you would. They're just happen to be my favorites. They're maybe not every barista's favorite in here. Is we have one that is called Old Faithful. It's from Yellowstone, and it's white chocolate huckleberry.
Okay.
So I love that. So like if people like our golden hour, which is white chocolate and candied orange, is white chocolate and huckleberry. I really, really like that one. It's got a really unique taste to it. And then my personal absolute favorite go-to all the time is going to be our Smoky Mountain. And it tastes like a pancake pantry in a cup. So it's maple syrup, twisted salt. So it's kind of like salted maple syrup instead of caramel. Make it with half and half. Add an extra shot. And then if you get it hot, you can always do it bulletproof. So you add a small pat of butter to it. And it literally tastes like a stack of pancakes in a cup.
Nice.
And it's so delicious.
Yeah.
I love it. Some of our other famous ones, Martian has been popular, and then Honey Bunches of Oats are also some interesting ones that we have. But yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, the Velvet Elvis was actually the first thing I've ever tried at Bluefront, and it was pretty good. But anyway, so thank you, Frank, for being on the show today. We're really excited to have you on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and they're open on Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and on Saturdays at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can check them out on Instagram or Facebook to stay up to date on everything they're doing.